Hi everyone. I'd like to share some thoughts on Sri Lankan writing in English. Let me explain first where this is coming from. Ever since my book Ravana's Daughter was longlisted for the Gratian Awards, I was thinking a little bit about the whole writing, publishing process that we have here in Sri Lanka. And I thought it's high time I kind of said it out loud and put it out there and shared it with you. Okay, so here are what some of the things that I think we need in this country to improve our level of Sri Lankan literature, which is written in English. I think that it's high time that we have a lot more creative writing courses out there. Now, I know that English literature is quite popular for A levels, and there are quite a few students who go on to do English as a subject in university as well. But that's a tiny percentage of those who may be interested in writing and publishing their own work. So I fall into the category of people who never did English literature, and my degree is not in English. It's in social sciences and linguistics. So there are a lot of people that I have personally met who have come up to me while I'm selling books in a stall somewhere, and they tell me, "Oh, I love writing. I've written a storybook and so on." And it's I don't know the quality of their writing. They don't have the courage to actually do anything about the book that they've written. So I think it would be really nice if our universities open out some basic certificate courses in creative writing that you can pay and follow for a short period of time, maybe a month, 2 months, 8 lessons, to get you going. That also brings me to another category where I think we are lacking, and that is editing. Now, I myself would really love to follow a course on editing, but no one seems to be offering something continually. You get various opportunities that crop up now and then they're taking only 10 people in, so you have to apply and you may not get in. Not like that. I would really love to see something that runs continually for people who want to brush up their skills in writing and editing. So that is the place where I think we need to start and create some change in the quality of literature in English that we have in this country. Publishing, that is a large area. I don't know the ins and outs personally of how publishing houses run. I can share with you here what I have figured out and come across as someone who has self published almost all of my books. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. I think that our publishing houses really need to look into giving more opportunities to people who are writing in English. Now, I know that they're not like philanthropic organizations. Of course, they're going to be concerned about whether or not a book will sell. But the idea that I have got so far is that they are not willing to take the risk. They will always check to see how low the cost can be kept when they're publishing a book. If they feel that it might get just a little bit too expensive, however good the story, a lot of our publishing houses tend to say no. So I think that needs to change. And of course, yes, we don't want them to make a loss on our books. So the next step would be to up the marketing game. And that I will speak on next. But before I move on to that topic, a little bit more about publishing houses from my experience. I think all our publishing houses need to have a good in house editorial team. When it comes to English, I don't know what the situation is for Sinhala and Tamil, but I know from experience that very few of our publishing houses have in house editors who are actually good and know what they're doing. All you have to do is to just open a so called traditionally published book written in English in Sri Lanka and see how many typing mistakes there are, let alone if you're thinking in the lines of structural editing and line editing and all that is probably non existent. So, having good editors in house, because some publishing houses expect us as the authors to use our money and hire an independent editor to go through our work. But that's not going to work, because then it's money sunk in on our own, which we're not going to ever make back on the 10% royalty that we're going to get. Another thing is illustrations. Now, I'm a children's author. When I asked around at the publishing houses, they all say that they have only a handful of illustrators who are already busy with various other things, and if I want to get a book published, then I need to find my own illustrator. So that's not easy for me. I'm not in the business, and if I don't have a close relation or friend who is capable of illustrating the book for me, then my book may very well go unpublished. And also, if I pay for the illustrator, then it comes down to negotiating who do the pictures eventually belong to, and are they going to pay me back for the money that I have spent on the illustrations if they're publishing the book, and it becomes very entangled. So I would love to see our publishing houses kind of developing along those lines. Okay, so marketing. Right, as far as I know, most of our publishing houses don't really market the book. It is published, it is put on the shelf. There may be, if you are lucky, one or two articles which appear in one or two newspapers that they have hired someone to write. And that's about it. So then you're kind of waiting for people to just stumble across your book as they're browsing the shelves. And people don't know that it is out there. Because if I publish traditionally, I'm not going to rack up a huge advertising budget by doing Facebook advertisements or anything like that. It's not going to get covered by the 10% royalty that I'm going to get, and it's not my job. So I would like to see the publishing houses actually undertake and budget for advertising and marketing. Okay, so then you get the problem that's going to raise the cost of the book. Yes, it is. There's nothing you can do about that. Maybe you could print more books, but if the books are not selling, you're going to get stuck with a whole lot of excess stock. So you really need to market your books. Make sure it's moving and that people are buying it, because that's how it works. I'm not a marketing guru, but common sense says that. So we can look at some of the things that can be done in the way of advertising and marketing that is not being done at the moment to get the books into the hands of customers and in front of their eyes in social media and many other forms, so that people actually know about the book and they're able to buy it.